All right. The Wednesday, January 11th, 2023 meeting for the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is now called to order. If everybody would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Got a pretty full crowd tonight. If everybody would please put their phone on silent. You don't have to turn it off, but put it on silent if you would, please. Let me get my notes here. The Municipal Code, excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is charged with conducting hearings to determine whether an alleged violation of the city code has occurred. Decisions made by this quasi-judicial board will be based on the evidence and facts presented this evening. Our meetings are conducted in accordance with Robert's Rules of Order, and each case will begin with the city presenting its evidence of the alleged violation. The respondent will then present his or her case. Both parties will have an opportunity to cross-examine all witnesses. The board members may question any witness. Comments by both parties must be relevant to the case. Persons wishing to speak will be given an opportunity to do so by the chair and must address the board from the podium after giving their name and address. Upon request, copies of materials submitted by staff are available for review. Board members are reminded to obtain permission to speak from the chair, and questions of the city should be directed to the attorney for the city. This time, I'd like to ask all persons who expect to give testimony this evening to please stand and be sworn in by the clerk.
If you plan to speak tonight, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony or evidence you're about to give or present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
As per our standard operating procedure, we will be taking some cases out of order tonight, and I'll let you know when we get there. Our first case will be in accordance with the agenda. At this time, I'd like to handle the ex parte communications. I'd like to ask all board members if they had any ex parte communications regarding any matters coming before the Code Enforcement Board this evening. If you've had verbal communications, please disclose the sum and substance of the communications, when and where the communications occurred, and with whom it occurred. If you've received written communications, please disclose the nature of the communications and provide a copy to the city clerk to be filed in the record. Starting with you.
No, none.
I've had none.
None?
I have no communication, but I know
When the case comes up, we can take care of that, okay?
I've had none.
Okay. Thank you. Approval of the minutes. Has everybody had an opportunity to review the minutes of December 14, 2022?
Yes.
Does anybody have any changes, additions, or deletions?
No.
Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Move to approve. Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Okay, on to our first hearing. Case number 22-2246. After she reads the case, you can close.
The first case is case number 22-2246, City versus Saad Investment, Inc. for the property located at 11301 North 56th Street. The case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 12-1047 landscape maintenance and Section 12-1049 landscape perimeter. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were both properly served.
Before you get started, we have a disclosure.
Yes, I would like to disclose that I know the manager of the property. But I don't have any idea about the case. I did not even know how it was going to be presented tonight.
Okay, I think the big questions would be, can you, in light of the fact you know this person, can you still be a fair and impartial decision maker?
Yes.
Base your decision on the evidence that's presented
Yes.
here at the hearing?
Yes.
Okay, anyone else? Lori, the floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case was originated by Director Baroni on April the 27th, 2022. My inspection noted substandard landscape buffer along the entire right-of-way parking lot area. Also noted the landscaping area has a non-functional irrigation system. At that time, I spoke with the property manager, Mohammed, and advised of a reinspection date of the 28th of June, 2022. Mr. Chairman, Mohammed did reach out to me on May the 14th, 2022. He stated he was still working with its engineer as they may build out the out parcel, which would change the schematics of the parking lot. Mohammed asked me for an extension of a month, which was granted until the 14th of June, 2022. My inspection of the site on July the 18th, 2022 revealed no change. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared with a compliance date of the 26th of September, 2022. Affidavit of service was obtained by phone call verification of the notice of violation from property manager Mohammed. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence of the violations taken by me on August the 24th and December the 30th, 2022.
We'll accept that, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Exhibit number 1 and exhibit number 2 shows no perimeter landscape buffer. Exhibit 3, 4, 5, and 6 shows the landscape beds inside the islands, inside the plaza islands without a functional irrigation system. Mr. Chairman, also Director Baroni reached out to property manager Mohammed on November the 22nd, 2022. Mohammed stated again that he was still interested in working on plans to build out the out parcel side of the plaza, and Director Baroni suggested a good faith effort to be started on the north side of the plaza until plans could be submitted for the south side out parcel to the permitting department. As of today's date, the site is not in compliance, and I am seeking a ruling.
Good, thank you. Any questions for the code officer?
I got a couple.
Go ahead, Bill.
Yes, sir.
So that's why, I mean, this obviously is a fairly old case, and it started in the last May, I think you said,
April, sir.
April. So it's taken that, you've been negotiating with the property owner during that time. That's why it's taken until January to get it in front of us.
Yes, sir.
And the second question, could you explain what the out parcel buffer, I don't really understand exactly what.
Well, the out parcel, Mr. Gus Carpus is here from Community Development, that I think that would be able to answer the question better, Mr. Snelling, pertaining to the out parcel.
Okay.
But quick question for you.
Yes, sir.
So the property as it sits today is no different than the way you viewed it back in April?
That is correct.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I have one more question.
Yes, sir.
When you say landscaping, why is it prompted? Wasn't that before, or how long has been this going on?
April.
Since April, sir. We talked since April the 27th, as I explained. The case was initiated by Director Baroni, so we have been in conversation with the property manager since April of last year to try to get
They
moving.
built something? Did they build something there, or?
No, sir, not yet.
But what I'm missing is, why is it required to have landscaping now since April? Is it?
No, it's always been required. It's just the landscaping that was there apparently has died off and the irrigation system is non-functional.
Oh, okay. So there was originally.
At some point, I believe that there was. Now, I've been with Temple Terrace a little over 4 years, and there hasn't been any since I have been here. But it is required, a 3-foot buffer on the front of the property. Also, and a functional irrigation system is required, and we don't have either on the site, sir.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else have any more questions? I think, do you want to add something?
Yes. I'm Gus Carpus, I'm the senior planner, and the question was asked about the out parcel. Currently, there is not an out parcel on there, but we have met with Mohammed. They are seeking to potentially build another structure on the site. So when he says that that may change the dynamics of the landscaping, it may or may not, but regardless, that structure would still need to meet setbacks, so that strip would still need to be there. It wouldn't necessarily impact that 3 foot. But at this point, there isn't an out parcel, but we have met with him and a potential developer to add another structure to that site.
So, can I ask?
Sure.
The out parcel is the area between the sidewalk and the road, is that what?
So if you're looking at the site, it'd be the south portion. There's a south portion
Okay.
that doesn't have a structure right now that they're looking to
Okay.
potentially put some more retail space in a separate building, not attach it to the existing, and put it there. But still, they would have to maintain the setback from the road, so that buffer would still be there. And when we met with them, they were told if they were to put that in, they would have to still landscape the whole site.
So there's no out parcel?
There's no out parcel at this time.
Got it.
There's a sign there, but there is no out parcel.
Okay, I get it.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
I would just make a comment.
No, comments come later.
Okay.
Thank you.
You have a question, that's fine. Okay,
Mr. Chairman, the respondent is here.
okay, did he wanna speak? Did he wanna say something?
Yes, sir.
Okay, state your name and address for the record, please.
Mohammed Mustafa, 10810 Applewood Range Way, Tampa, Florida, 33647.
Yes,
Also, at this time, we may want to have him identify what his relationship is with the property owner
okay,
and whether he's authorized to be able to speak.
okay.
I am authorized to speak on behalf of Saad Investments. I am the property manager of the property for Saad Investments and throughout the whole portfolio. So a lot of confusion comes from my end. When we met with Mr. Carpus, with the civil engineer, I guess I misunderstood what was stated in the meeting. What I've understood is hold off on the landscaping until we summarize or conclude on the out parcel, because the landscaping is going to completely change. It's going to get adapted to the new standards per the city. When Tom and Lori reached out to me November 22nd, they were telling me that's not what the building department stated. Then that's when the confusion was cleared up. So from November 22nd till now, we've been working on locating landscapers and the irrigation. So we're working heavily to get that completed. So from April all the way up to November, we were focusing on the site plan submittal versus the landscaping. So that's why we have the
Have you submitted a site plan?
preliminary plans, just to get comments from the city. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and to continue to add, if we were going to do the out parcel, we were going to completely do the whole landscaping throughout the whole property. So it didn't make sense to just do portions to then portions. We wanted to pretty much completely do everything when we run the irrigation lines and so forth. So obviously with Thanksgiving and Christmas, I couldn't get enough time to get the landscaping and get the irrigation people out there to get it completed. But I have been meeting them on site, going over our plan. Me and Lori discussed, she kind of told me what the requirements are and so forth. So I'm asking if I can get an extension till the next meeting to get it completed. And if I can't get it completed by then, I'll provide evidence why I can't get it completed, whether it's I need a water meter for the irrigation, whether I need a well or whatever it is, but we'll take efforts to get it completed.
You have a landscaper?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yes. Oh, go ahead.
Just curious, so you're prepared to move forward with the landscaping irrigation portion of what the violations that we're looking at without completing a site plan and all that stuff, so.
Yeah.
And you think you can get it done within 30 days?
I mean, yes, I believe I can, yes.
Okay, thanks.
Saad?
I go back to the infrastructure of the irrigation for this site. Is there an existing one?
There is, yes, and it may be working, it may not be working, we don't know.
Oh, okay.
We purchased the building in February 2020, so there's no telling what happened before then.
Okay.
I've been working in Temple Terrace for 6 years. I grew up and raised in Temple Terrace, actually. I can't go back 20 years to tell you what was there, but I can go back 7, 8 years to tell you I've never seen anything in front of that building. So I'm not sure, but whatever it
Because
is,
I'm now familiar with the site. I agree with you. There was no landscaping, nothing there. It's been always a dead area.
but regardless of the fact, the city has rules.
Because my bank is across the street, so that's why
The
I'm.
city has rules that we're willing, and if you ask Lori, again, she'll tell you we've always been complying with all her other concerns regarding the other properties. We have a amount of properties in Temple Terrace.
Good to know, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the respondent?
Just one more question. So the work will be finished by next month or will be started?
We're going to attempt to get it completed,
Okay,
and the only complications that I see is the irrigation. Obviously, the water meter, usually when you develop sites, there's two water meters, one for irrigation, one for the building, for cost and billing.
Sure, got it.
So
What
if
about
the-
2 months? Would that do it, or would,
We can give him 30 days.
No, I understand.
And if
I'm
he
just-
can't come back, he can come back and tell us why.
Yeah, and yeah, whatever the council recommends.
sure.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Seeing none, I will entertain a motion.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, in case number 22-2246, I move that the city is proven by greater weight of the evidence of the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 11301 North 56th Street, in violation of sections 12-1047 and section 12-1049. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the Code Enforcement Officer Lori Smith, along with other evidence and the property manager, including photos and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violation be corrected on or before our next meeting, which is February the 8th, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation and any actions taken by the violator to correct it, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move the fine to be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I would actually, I'm in agreement that it would probably be better to do 60 days, because I know how difficult it is to get an irrigation person, talk to them, get them in. I don't think it can be completed in 30 days. And I know that he can come back in 30 days and we can go rehash the whole thing, but instead, I think I'd give them 60 days to complete the whole thing. That's my opinion.
I disagree, because I think this has been going on since April. We've had months and months of, I mean, not necessarily anybody's fault, but I mean, we've had months to get this resolved. And I think I'd like to have some status in 30 days. I'd like to have a status of what the situation is.
Any further discussion?
I agree with Gina, because why should we bring him back in another 30 days if we're not sure, That's-
Keep him interested.
Because if it's
Keep
not
him
done,
interested, okay. We get to see him again.
Any other discussion? Okay, if I see none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. So you've been found in violation of the code. You have 30 days to cure the violation, or a fine of $25 per day should begin to accrue. If for any reason you can't get it done in 30 days, we'll see you back here on February 8th, and you can make your case, and no guarantees that you'll get an extension, but you can ask for one. Okay? Good luck. Thank you. Next case is our next case, 22-3437.
Yes, case number 223437, City versus Rod A. Hamil for the property located at 6125 East 110th Avenue. The case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 828A1 permits application required. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were both properly served.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman, board members, Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case originated proactively on June the 24th, 2022. My inspection revealed work without a permit for a rear patio screen lanai. At that time, I left a door hanger with a reinspection date of the 5th of July, 2022. Mr. Hamil contacted me on June the 24th, 2022, and asked for additional time to obtain the permit. He said he was working out of town and wouldn't be home for an additional 2 weeks. I granted an extension until July the 18th, 2022. Mr. Hamil contacted me again on August the 18th, 2022, and stated that he had just gotten the contractor's license number for the permit and would be obtaining it within the next week or so. An inspection on October the 20th, 2022 revealed no change. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared with a compliance date of October the 31st, 2022. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence of the violations taken by me on October the 20th, 2022. Thank you, sir. Exhibit number 1 shows the notice letter posted at the front door. Exhibit number 2 shows the rear patio screen lanai. Exhibit number 3 shows the stop work order in Central Square. As of today's date, the site is not in compliance, and I am seeking a ruling.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any questions for the code officer?
Mr. Chairman, the respondent is
Respondent's
here, would
here.
like to address the board.
Come on up, state your name and address for the record, and the floor is yours.
Good evening, Rod Hamil, 6125 East 110th Avenue. I'm working with the permit office and with the planner as well as far as getting the permit in place. I'm having a little hard time just getting an engineer to get out there and do the survey. Within the next couple of days, I probably should have it wrapped up and submitted to the permitting.
Okay.
But I do have another issues I would like to address at the same time.
Okay.
I had a gravel area where I was parking my vehicle for a minute, and I guess within the weather and stuff like that, the gravel kind of settled down and the grass grew, and I was informed by Lori not to park there anymore. So I haven't been doing that since she gave me that violation for it. This morning, my dad returned my vehicle. I wasn't even home. He returned at 12:37. At 1:37, I was served this letter within an hour of that. I know I'm not supposed to be there, but I can't just have somebody at my house looking every 24 hours. And also back to the time when she took the pictures of the screen lanai. And I'm not saying that I wasn't at fault for that. I'm aware that I need to get a permit, and I'm working on it. But I have footage on my phone that I can share with you where profanities was used against my wife at the time when she was taking pictures of that door. And I really don't appreciate this, and I don't think that Temple Terrace will have somebody on board that conduct their business in that way.
Okay, thank you.
And that's one thing. Another thing, sorry, my father down the road, it's been going on. It's been going on for years. Her and us, it's nonstop. It's harassing after another. He was involved in a car accident, and he went to, I think it was called Brevard GMC on Admo, and he was provided a rental car that says courtesy or something like that of that dealer. He was informed that he has to remove that car from his driveway because it's a commercial vehicle, even though it's just a loaner. So things like this, and he showed her the accident and showed her that there was a loaner, but things like this is just adding day after day, and we feel like there's eyes on us, when we are at home resting and feeling the most safe. Every day on the cameras, I'm like, something pops up, something comes up. There was an issue with because I own a trucking company, so most of the times I'm home, I'm not. There's an issue with the grass, I solved that. I hired a guy and he's doing the grass, and we've been good in that part. But when it came down to using the profanity, that's when it kind of kicked to the next level, and I really don't appreciate this. And like I said, I have the footage if you guys want to see it, but I don't know what to say at this point.
I'll meet you in the back and I'll listen to it.
What, don't you want to see the board? The board to see it?
Well, the board
It's not part
We
of
won't,
doesn't have jurisdiction over that. This is the supervisor.
Okay, yeah, tell Med you want, yeah. Okay.
Person to speak to.
Okay, sounds good. I think that'll be it from me. Any questions for me?
any questions for the respondent?
I just wanted to ask, we're here, to decide whether there is a violation on getting a permit.
Right.
That's why you got me confused of
Sure, I'm sorry.
harassments or something. so-
took his opportunity to present the other.
Oh, okay.
But it's back to that. Like I said, I came to submit the permit because when I initially came, they said they need the plans, and I'm not familiar with the plans. Just not in my industry at least. So I had that wrong, and they told me to get with a gentleman named Dallas, and he's been helping me with finding an engineer to get the plans in place to submit the permit properly.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Any other questions?
I do it, not for you.
Sure.
I do have a question for either Director Baroni or Officer Smith. But just curious, so this is,
You can sit down.
Sure.
Lori, why don't you come on back up? Lori?
so just for my education purposes, so this is a damage to one panel or a door on the screen porch on the,
No, sir, it was an addition that they put on.
oh, they actually added something.
Yes, sir, it was a rear patio, lanai.
Okay.
Whole
Screen lanai?
lanai, not just the.
Green lanai?
They added a lanai.
I got you, okay.
With a concrete slab?
Sir, I don't know. I don't know if it's got a concrete slab.
Oh, okay.
I can't go in their rear yard. I took that picture from the street. I know my area well enough. I'm by there, if not every day in that zone, every other day. I do my job. I knew before that there was not a screen enclosure at that residence, and then I came back on a Monday, and then there it was. So it obviously got installed over the weekend. Like I said, I know my area pretty good, so if somebody changes something, they add something, they do something, I'm gonna notice it.
And the permit application was applied for already, the permit?
No, it wasn't, that's
No,
why he's
sir.
here.
Oh, okay, but the owner is aware of that he needed a permit?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
Just, I know I can probably find it, but when did this all start? When did the original, when you
June.
note? Was in June? Was it? It's
June
been,
24th, 2022.
okay, all right, gotcha.
Those pictures?
Yeah, can we
Gotcha.
have the
Okay.
pictures, Kristen?
It's been a few months.
You only need this.
Yeah.
Oh, you only need the first, just a picture of the,
Oh, that in the back, or see,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, any other questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do that.
Thank you. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Laura. In case number 223437, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 6125 East 110th Avenue, with the applicable violations of the Section 8-28, subsection A, subsection 1, permits application required. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the Code Enforcement Officer, Lori Smith, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation of which received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the said violation be corrected on or before our next meeting on February 8th, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with this order or on or before the day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violations, any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. So, sir, you've been found in violation of the code. You've got 30 days to get the permit. If for whatever reason you cannot get the permit within 30 days, you need to come back on our next meeting on February 8th and give us those reasons. And again, no guarantees, but you can ask for an extension. Okay? Thank you. Next case. So, gentlemen, we'll be moving to pretty far back in the agenda to case number 6013.
Case number 6013, City versus Jennifer L. Kibiger for the property located at 415 Mission Hills Avenue. The case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 8-102-13K, hardware screens maintained in good repair, Section 8-102-13B, exterior walls maintained in good repair, Section 8-102-18A, sanitation shared area maintained in good repair, and Section 8-102-13C, roofs maintained in good repair. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were both properly served.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by me on November 3rd, 2022 for stained exterior walls, damaged pool screens, unmanicured vines on the exterior walls, and damaged soffits. It went directly to a notice of violation with a reinspection date of November 18th, 2022. Posted the notice at the front door, and a copy of the notice of violation was posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both certified and regular mailed, to the address of the owner of record. A reinspection on December 28th showed no change, so a notice of hearing was prepared on that date, and the case was scheduled for the January Municipal Code Board meeting. This time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence taken by myself on November 3rd and December 28th, 2022.
We'll accept that, thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the posting of the notice of violation. Exhibit number 2 shows the damaged soffit. Exhibit number 3 shows the damaged screen. Exhibit number 4 shows the stained exterior walls. Exhibit number 5 shows unmanicured vines on the exterior wall. As of today's date, the violation for the damaged soffit is in compliance with Section 8-102-13C, but the rest of the site is not in full compliance, and I'm seeking a ruling.
Is there any questions for the code officer?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
One
there's,
at a time, gentlemen. Go ahead, Bill.
yeah, so there's 3 existing current violations that have not been resolved, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
4, it looks to me as 4,
Damaged pool screens,
Four total.
unmanicured
One
vines.
has been brought into
which
compliance.
is C, which is part.
8-102-13C has been brought into compliance. The other 3 are still out of compliance.
Okay,
And as far as the pool screens are concerned, there's no safety violation with that.
No, it's the roof screens,
That's
so
what it
the
looked like.
perimeter panels are in place.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions?
just to explain to me, the ones are in, out of compliance. It's the stain on the wall.
Stained exterior walls, damaged pool screens, unmanicured vines, and that's it,
Yeah, those are still,
out of compliance.
So the roof is the only one that's in compliance now?
No.
Or the soffit? Was that-
Soffit, yes.
Soffit.
Okay,
Which is underneath roofs.
right.
Yeah, that's this, yeah.
Okay, so that one's,
Any other questions for the code officer? Thank you, sir.
The,
Respondent is here.
yes, sir.
this is,
The respondent,
this is,
come on up, state your name and address for the record, please.
Jennifer Kibbiger, 415 Mission Hills Avenue, Temple
Okay.
Terrace.
okay, those are.
What was yours?
Okay, if I may just take a brief second to give some history. I acquired this home back in late August, and I understand it had been vacant for about 2.5 years, 3 years prior. So my first question was, where do I start? We had an active roof leak, so the first thing was to get the roof permitted and the roof changed, of course. From there, well, in order to reach the inside, 5 30-yard dumpsters later, I am able to walk from the front door to the back door. So my focus was on the inside first. In addition to getting the pool done, it needed complete emptying, resurfacing, new tile, something with the motor, etc. That's been done. All of these things and violations kind of all run together due to what I understand is called a stink vine or a stank vine, which has consumed the landscaping and the house, basically. I have trimmed those up, but trimming them just doesn't quite cut it. So I have had the complete exterior perimeter of both the house and the pool area dug up to eliminate this vine. This is what's been growing on the screens, on the walls, causing the stains, because when you peel them off, they do leave a mark as well. To replace the pool screen, I first have to get the aluminum painted. I have 2 estimates to do that, which neither one is even considerable. So I have 2 more coming out, one this week and one on Saturday. Hopefully one of those will fit in the budget. After that, I have bids for the rescreening, one of which I'm very happy with, so that's taken care of. But again, the aluminum painting has to be done first. So the vines have been eliminated. The landscaping has all been cut back so that the screening guy can reach what he needs to reach. And also we have dug under the surface of the ground so that the painters can go a few inches below the surface. We have tried to, with both bleach and house wash, to eliminate the stains, and they will not go away. So repainting of the home is necessary. Getting estimates for that has been difficult. Just everybody's so busy. I am getting an estimate along with the aluminum painting for the house painting as well. So I'm requesting 60 days for the pool, being the aluminum painting and all rescreening, and 90 days for painting of the home. Any questions?
Any questions for the respondent?
Do you, I don't know if it's for her or for, does she need any permits for any of the work that needs to be done?
The only permit I believe I need is for replacing the windows, which will need to be done before painting, which is another reason for the 90-day request. And yes, the windows will be permitted for.
But the windows aren't in violation.
No.
That's not part of the
No.
deal.
No, for the items that are currently in violation, there's no permits needed.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know that, in my opinion, 90 days for painting. How big is the house?
Just shy of 2,000 square feet.
Yeah, I know a lot of painters are available, and if there's no you know, and they're out of job. I mean, they're looking for a job, but you know.
Give her their names.
Please.
I'll give you one of the names.
Are they good?
They're really good. They're really good. You know. Matter of
Any
fact,
other questions
yeah.
for the
Yes,
respondent?
thank you.
Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I have a comment.
The comments come after we make the motion, we get a second. Then you can make your comments.
Well, I can do this if you like me to.
Sure,
Go ahead.
that'd be great. Thank you.
All right. There is one question.
Okay.
There's only one violation, section 10(3)B.
No, there's one violation that's been cured. 8-102-13C is no longer in violation.
The one that's in compliance is the last one.
The rest of the other three are still out of compliance.
Okay. All right. In case number 22-6013, I move that the city has proven by greater weight of the evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 415 Mission Hills Avenue. In violation of Section 8-102-13K, Section 8-102-13B, Section 8-102-18A. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer and the owner, and along with any other evidence, including photos.
Excuse me, I think you have to include the one.
Well, yeah, I was gonna let him finish, but
Okay, the one thing that's
Yeah.
in compliance has to be included in with the one that's.
That's coming up next, sir.
But it is out, I mean, anyway, you're supposed to do it, put all four violations in there and then tell us which one's in compliance. That's, believe it, I don't wanna
Okay, and
break
then
your.
in Section 8-102-13C.
Yep.
Then this motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer and the owner, along with other evidence, including the photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that there be no fine imposed for the violation of the code section 8-102-13C because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing. I further move that the remaining violations be corrected on or before in two different dates as the owner requested. The first date would be 60 days from now, which is April the 12th. I'm sorry, is March the 8th. And then the next phase of work on April 90 days, which is approximately April the 12th, the date of our meeting in April.
It cannot, if you're going to do it that way, you need to attach the violations to the date. So in other words, which violations do you want cured by March 8th, and which violations do you want cured by April 12th?
Well, for the 60 days, it would be section 8-102-13K, the screens. And then,
Yeah, the other two would be the 90 days, because they're both going to be resolved by,
Exterior walls,
be-
right?
they'll be resolved by painting the house. So.
okay, and then section 8-102-13B and section 8-102-18A would be resolved within 90 days. Or the second meeting from this meeting.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Wait, he's not-
He's not done?
Yeah, he's got to finish.
If the respondent does
Hang
not
on.
comply with this order on before those days, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past the dates set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation and any actions taken by the violator and any previous violation, I move that the fine would be $25 per day.
Okay. Did you want to say something first?
Just before we get a second, I don't know whether, is this gonna be doable as far as the order and, clerk-wise, and as far as for the code enforcement department to try and monitor the two different compliance dates?
I haven't either, but that's the motion on the floor.
I mean, another, yeah, so I just want you, before we got a second to it, I wanted to make sure that what was in the motion is actually feasible. Otherwise,
I can comment on that. May I comment on that?
Hang on a second, I don't know if that, are you done, Ernie?
pretty much, otherwise I will have a suggestion, but I can wait on the suggestion.
Okay,
The lady looks to me like what she's doing is having a home in Dimple Terrace that looks horrible and is gonna make it look very nice, and it takes time, and I appreciate her doing that. And it is hard to get tradespeople out. I've tried many times. So if she thinks it's gonna take 90 days, then I think, okay, fine, she's progressing towards that goal, and let her have 90 days. So if I need to amend my
Motion.
motion to 90 days for all three, then that's what I'll do.
yeah, well, I think Ernie has a suggestion.
Well, that was going to be my suggestion.
Okay, that was going to be, okay.
I think it's 3 months away. Honestly, I'd rather see 60 days and then.
And have it come back?
In front of the
No.
board,
That's what I
and
hope.
ask for an additional 30.
Well, that suits me fine. 60 days sounds fine to me.
Okay, well, then you need
Very
to
rarely
need to,
you give 60 days, but
Then I will change my motion then, that the violation be
Before he
corrected
changes his
within
motion,
the
hey, hey,
second,
whoa, slow
I
down.
can't
the
comment.
second meeting from now, which is
After the
March
second.
the 8th.
Okay, so you're now saying that all violations should be cured by March the 8th?
Correct.
Okay, so are you good with that, Ernie?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
It's just gonna be easier for us to. Right.
Understood. So we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
A second.
Okay, now it's time for comments. What's your
Yes,
comment?
I'd like the old-fashioned way. We can go a month and a month and a month. I don't mind giving extension, but this is also confused this, and also this thing does not require. I just want to have it on the record. Does not require any permits. It should not take that long. It should be corrected as soon as possible. And then, in my opinion, it should have been a month to be fair for all other cases too.
You did mention that the vines have been taken care of?
Just this past weekend.
Okay, so so technically then we would be in compliance with that already.
Not the staining, that's what's
Yeah. That's pressure washing,
Okay, well,
or not.
She already tried that.
so we have a motion. The city is okay with the 60 days. So if there's no other comment, go ahead.
Yeah, I like the 30 days as well too, just to be consistent with everyone.
May I say something?
No, I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm
I
not,
had my chance, huh?
yeah, you had your chance, yeah.
Okay.
So you can either amend or we'll vote on it and we'll see what happens. Okay, we have a motion, we have a second, we've had comments. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry, why can't I
because you had your chance, and we're now in deliberation.
The public hearing is being closed.
Yeah, understood.
You just get to hear it.
Yeah, but your ability to speak to the board is over. That portion's over. Okay, so let's do it again. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're going to do a roll call vote, starting here.
Yes.
Aye.
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 Nay.
Aye.
Okay, so motion carries. So you now have 60 days to get all the violations cured. If by some chance you do not have all the violations cured within 60 days, you need to come to our next meeting, which will be March 8th of '23, and let us know why you haven't been able to cure all the violations. And there's never a guarantee, but you can ask for an extension at that point.
Can I ask a question? How do I inform that it has been taken care of?
You call his office,
Okay, okay,
or email his office, either way.
okay.
Or come down and bring donuts to his office.
Okay.
Okay, next case, please.
Is it back to order?
I think, are we back to the beginning?
Yes.
Okay, so yes, we're back to the beginning.
Case number 22-4991, City versus First National Trust Company for the property located at 109 Mission Hills Avenue. Case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 10.3B, sanitation grass weeds, and Section 8-102-13C, roofs maintaining good repair. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing are both properly served.
Can I ask a question before we proceed on this? There's another violation for that same property in this, and I'm just curious why they're not all in one.
Is it the same?
Separate case numbers.
Okay,
They're two separate case numbers, that's why Mr. Allen addressed one violation at a certain time, and then the other
Okay.
one came on.
okay, just not used to, usually one property, we have multiple
It was-
violations together, lumped
Two
together.
different case numbers because they were noticed at different times.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And I mean,
Ready?
just one more thing, ma'am, you're welcome to stay and hang out with us, but but there's no requirement.
Okay.
Okay, you can stay if you want. It's a lot of fun. But,
Thank you.
Good evening.
good luck with your painting.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by me on September 7th, 2022 for overgrown conditions and vegetative growth on the roof. I left a door hanger with a reinspection date of September 9th, 2022. My reinspection on October 4th showed no change, so notice of violation was prepared on that date with a reinspection date of October 11th. I posted the notice at the site as well as at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both certified and regular mailed, to the address of the owner of record. I've had no contact from the owner or their representatives. My reinspection on October 24 showed no change to the violation, so a notice of hearing was prepared on that date, and the case was scheduled for the January Municipal Code Board meeting. I'd like to submit photographic evidence taken by me on October 4th and October 24th, 2022.
We'll accept that, thank you.
Thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the notice of violation posting. Exhibit number 2 shows the vegetative growth on the roof, and exhibit number 3 shows the overgrown yard conditions. The site is not in compliance, and I'm seeking removal.
Thank you. Any questions for the code officer?
The usual, have you had any, contact with the owner?
No, sir, I haven't heard from anybody. Site's currently vacant. It was occupied, and about the time all this started, whoever was there appeared to move out.
Any other questions? And there is no respondent here, correct?
No, sir.
Okay. If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Sure. I'll do it.
Thank you.
In case number 22-4991, I move that the city has proven by greater weight of the evidence that the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace Code exists on a property located at 109 Mission Hill Avenue. Applicable code section 10-3 subsection B, 8-102-13C. This motion is based on sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, Doug Allen, along with other evidence including photos, affidavit, and notice of violation, of all of which is received and entered as part of this record for this hearing. I further move that this said violation be corrected on or before February 8, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any action taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violation committed by the violator, I move that the fine will be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion?
This is, I'm going to assume, because we hate to do that, a repossession if it's owned by the bank. And if they're ignoring this, I think that $25 a day is too little.
No, we treat banks the same way we treat individuals.
Well, but they're ignoring it.
But again, the fact that it's a bank has nothing to do with anything.
But they're still ignoring it.
But they're still ignoring it.
I mean, that no one has come forth and said, hey, I'll fix it, or let me see what I can do, or give me 30 days.
So what's the end game? Are you saying $25 is not enough?
I think that it should be more if someone is completely ignoring what's being asked of them.
Okay. Are you suggesting $30? Are you suggesting $40? Are you suggesting $50? What are you suggesting?
I would go, $50.
Who made the motion?
I did.
What do you think?
Any other comments?
Well, I agree with the motion. I second it. But I agree with you, David. We should treat everybody the same. And that $25 can accumulate so quickly, and it'd be in thousands of dollars. So whether it gets their attention or not, we have to be fair.
My comment is that, yeah, typically, you're right, we do, for multiple violations, we do go more than 25 per day. I guess my thought process was that we do have another violation on the same property later in the meeting, and if, I'm not saying we're gonna find that
Right.
they're in violation, but I thought maybe we'd get a chance to tack a little more money on them. I don't know if that's legal or not, but that's just kind of my thought process.
Okay.
Okay, so any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case.
Next case is case number 225166, City versus F&S Home Investment LLC for the property located at 10313 Councils Way. Case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 8-102-13P. Exterior walls maintain in good repair. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were both properly served.
Good evening once again, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by me on September 15th, 2022 for stained exterior walls. I left a door hanger with a reinspection date of September 19th. My reinspection on September 26th showed no change, so I generated a notice of violation on that date with a reinspection date of October 7th, 2022. I posted the notice at the site as well as at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both regular and certified mail, to the owner of record. My reinspection on December 28th showed no change, so I prepared a notice of hearing and scheduled the case for the January Municipal Code Board meeting. I'd like to submit photographic evidence taken by me on September 26th and December 28th, 2022.
We'll accept that. Thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the notice of violation posting. Exhibit number 2 shows the stained exterior wall. This time, the site is not in compliance, and I'm seeking a ruling.
Any questions for the code officer?
Yeah, so the stained exterior wall is it's a further panel back, or I'm just not seeing maybe I need to see the picture again. It's this area right here.
That and then all the green
Oh, okay, so there's some green on there. Okay, I see it. Okay, gotcha. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions?
Yes, these did they contact you or try to attempt to clean
I
up?
assume it was the owner. Somebody contacted me today about the property, whether it was the owner or one of the
Today?
representatives today. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
After lunch. And he said he was gonna try to get somebody out there today, but I thought that'd be highly unlikely to get somebody out there today to get a
Luck,
pressure
yeah.
wash. But I did go by about 3:30 to see if anybody had done anything, but
Is this a, so it's an apartment complex?
it's a townhouse community.
Oh, okay,
Any other questions?
thank you.
Actually, can I ask the code officer a question?
Oh, sure.
With regard to the photograph that you were just pointing out, and you observed the staining on the wall,
Yes, sir.
is that photograph giving full, kind of fully depicting what you saw out there, or is it the staining worse than what that?
Staining's
photo's-
probably a little worse than what that photo's showing.
Any other questions?
One more question. When's the last time you went to the site?
This afternoon at 3:30.
Oh, okay. Just,
Pretty sure I heard you say that earlier.
just wanted to remember that, because you said that, but it's like just a few hours ago.
Yes, sir.
Got a good memory, it's just short. Any other questions for the code officer?
Thank you.
Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do this one.
Thank you.
All right, in case number 22-5166, I've moved that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 10313 Council's Way, Code Section 8-102-13-B. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Doug Allen, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violations be corrected on or before February 8th, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move the fine to be $25 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. Next case, please.
We had a board member that needed to leave early.
It's 7, did you want to?
Do one more. No,
One more? Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Case number 22-5444, City versus John P. Ziegler for the property located at 306 South Burlingame Avenue. Cases before the board based on alleged violation of Section 12860, inoperative vehicle outdoor storage equipment. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Jose Silva. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing are both properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members. Jose Silva, Code Compliance Officer. This case originated on October 6, 2022. My inspection at the time noted an inoperative pickup truck in the driveway of the residence with no tag. This time I left the door hanger with a compliance date of October 9, 2022. My inspection on October 17, 2022 noted no change. At this time I completed a notice of violation with a compliance date of October 24, 2022. Posted notice at the home as well as City Hall, so mail copies both certified and regular mailed to the address of the registered owner. My inspection on November 28, 2022 noted the vehicle with no tag still parked in the driveway at the residence. This time I would like to submit photographic evidence of the violations.
We'll accept that, thank you.
Exhibit number 1 is the posting of the door. Exhibit number 2 is the vehicle with no tag in the driveway. As of today's date, this afternoon, vehicle still in the driveway with no tag, no contact from the owner, and I'm seeking a ruling.
Very good. Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Yeah, I'll do that. This will be my last one.
Great, thank you.
Forever, right?
I don't want to end up on the last one, right?
The last one
This
forever.
one should be a little easier.
Yeah. In case number 22-5444, I move that the city has proved by a greater weight of the evidence of the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exist on the property located at 306 South Burlingame Avenue in violation of Code Section 12-860. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Jose Silva, along with other evidence, including photos, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violation be corrected on or before our next board meeting, which would be February the 8th, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they're ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering that the following factors, the gravity of the violation, and any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine to be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. Next case, please. Sure.
Before we start this case, in light of some comments that were made earlier, we'll kind of clean up the record. Mr. Snelling, will you be able to be a fair and impartial decision maker on this with no predetermination on the outcome?
Yes.
And you'll make your decision based on the evidence you hear?
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move forward.
Case number 22-5466, City versus First National Trust Company. For the property located at 109 Mission Hills Avenue, cases before the board based on alleged violation of Section 8-102-13H, windows and exterior doors, maintain and good repair. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing are both properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by me on October 6, 2022 for a broken front window. I went directly to a notice of violation on that date with a reinspection date of October 17, 2022. I posted a notice at the residence. A notice was also posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both certified and regular mail, to the address of the owner of record. On October 24, 2022, my reinspection showed no change, so I prepared a notice of hearing on that date, and the case was scheduled for the January Municipal Code Board meeting. I've had no contact from the property owner or their representatives. This time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence of the site taken by myself on October 6 and October 24, 2022.
We'll accept that. Thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the posting of the notice of violation, and exhibit number 2 shows the broken front window. The site is not in compliance with the broken window, and I'm seeking a ruling.
Good, thank you. Any questions for the code officer? Go ahead.
Same situation, no contact from the owner of the property or anything like that.
I just went direct, since I already had the other case was open before that, I just went directly to a notice of violation on this one.
Go ahead.
And this is a repeat violation, right?
No, this isn't repeat.
Oh, this is the same. Okay.
We haven't had a broken window before.
So it looks like they've attempted to put some.
Yeah, it looks like they
covering
put a
over.
cardboard box of some sort over where the broken panel was or pane that came out, so.
As far as you can tell, nobody's entering or
It
exiting.
doesn't look like it. No, it doesn't look like it. It looks like the site's vacant.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
That's right, that's right.
Okay.
In case number 225466, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exist on the property located at 109 Mission Hills Avenue, with the violations code section 8-102 subsection 13 subsection H, windows and exterior doors. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the Code Enforcement Officer Doug Allen and other witnesses, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the said violation be corrected on or before February 8th, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with the order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date set for the compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator. If I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case, please.
Next case is case number 225643, City versus John G. Kennedy III for the property located at 6117 East 111th Avenue. Case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 12861E6, fences, appearance, and Section 810213B, exterior walls maintain in good repair. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing are both properly served.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman, board members, Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case originated proactively on October the 15th, 2022. My inspection revealed the south and west side wooden fence in disrepair and walls standing on the west side of the structure. At that time, I left 2 door hangers with a reinspection date of the 2nd of November, 2022. My inspection on November 15th, 2022 revealed the south side wooden fence had been repaired. However, the west side fence and wall stains remained in violation. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared with the compliance date of the 30th of November, 2022. This property is no trespassing, so I posted the notice letter at the front property line and requested copies be sent certified in first-class mail to the owner of record. I also requested a copy be posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement. Mr. Chairman, I met with Mr. Kennedy at his house on November the 15th and then November the 29th, 2022 to discuss his progress towards correcting the violations. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence of the violations taken by me on the 15th of November and December the 29th, 2022.
Looks like that. Thank you. Bless you.
Exhibit number 1 shows a notice letter posted at the front property line. Exhibit number 2 shows the west side fence in disrepair. Exhibit number 3 shows the west side wall staining. As of today's date, the west side wall staining has been cleaned and repainted, and I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance. The second violation for the west side wooden fence is still in disrepair and is not in compliance. I am seeking a ruling on that, Mr. Chairman, board members. Also, Mr. Kennedy could not make it this evening due to health issues. If the board would grant Mr. Kennedy an extension, I believe the resident would bring the property into compliance before the next code board meeting.
So, just for clarity, Section 8-10213B is in compliance.
Yes, sir.
Section 12-861E6 is not.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And
Yes.
he believes that he can get that fence taken care of before our next meeting.
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Any other questions for the code officer?
Mr. Chair, we have the affidavit of compliance.
Oh, yes, oh, sorry, we'll accept that, thank you. My apologies. Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do this.
Thank you, Bill.
In case number 22-5643, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exist on the property located at 6117 East 111th Avenue. The applicable code sections are 12-861-E-6 and 8102-13-B. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Lori Smith, along with any other evidence including photos, affidavits, and a notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that no fine be imposed on the violation for Code Section 8-102-13-B because the violation was brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing. I further move that the remaining violation be corrected on or before February 8th, 2023. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any action taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case, please.
Next case is case number 225672, City versus Chuang Wen for the property located at 5310 Rainbow Drive. Case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 12921, parking residential property. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Jose Silva. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing are both properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members, Jose Silva, Code Compliance Officer. This case originated on October 17, 2022. My inspection at the time noted yard parking at the residence. Since this was a reoccurring event, I went directly to a notice of violation. This time I completed a notice of violation with a compliance date of October 20, 2022. Posted the notice at the home as well as City Hall. Also mailed copies both certified and regular mail to the address of the registered owner. My reinspection on November 2nd, 2022 noted no vehicles parked on the yard grass, so I closed the case. On November 5th, 2022, I noted 2 vehicles parked on the yard grass of the residence. Since the violation reoccurred within 45 days, it was set for the January MCEB. This time I'd like to submit 4 photographs of the violations and the posting of the notice at the door.
We'll accept those. Thank you.
Thanks.
Exhibit 1 shows the posting at the door. Exhibit 2 shows 2 vehicles parked on the yard grass November 5th. November 5th. Exhibit 3, vehicles parked on the yard grass December 9th, and vehicle parked on the yard grass December 12th.
Any questions for the code officer?
As of this time, the property is in compliance. I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance.
Accept that. Thank you. Very good. Thank you.
One more.
I just have a quick question.
Go right ahead.
Doug, this is, do they have a driveway?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't see it.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
I could not see the driveway.
Driveway's to the left. Those photos.
Okay.
So the vehicles over here are actually in the driveway, but not over here. Is that it?
The driveway
Oh,
for
to the
this
left.
house is over here.
Oh,
Okay,
so
I got it.
you're catching the ones that,
Yeah, the next case is also that one.
so, that's why, it seems to me, because it made you go back and forth, you opened the case, then they closed it. That's why I'm curious, what's going on, but they're in compliance, I can't say anything.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do that.
Thank you.
In case number 225672, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exist on the property located at 5310 Rainbow Drive, with the applicable code, section 12-921, parking residential property. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the Code Enforcement Officer, Jose Silva, and along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation, all which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that there be no fine imposed because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second?
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case, please.
The next case is case number 226172, City versus Hamilton, Alexander Mejia Mendez and Jacqueline Chavez de Mejia for the property located at 5312 Rainbow Drive. The case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 12921, parking residential property. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Jose Silva. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing are both properly served.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman and board members. Jose Silva, Code Compliance Officer. This case originated on November 14, 2022. My inspection at the time noted yard parking at the residence. This time I went directly to a notice of violation since it was a complaint from the owner of 5310 Rainbow Drive, that's next door. Completed a notice of violation with a compliance dated November 17, 2022. Posted notice at the home as well as City Hall, also mailed copies both certified and regular mail to the address of the registered owner. On November 18, 2022, I was contacted by the homeowner advising he was in compliance. I re-inspected the property on November 21st, 2022, noted no vehicles parked on the yard grass, so I closed the case. On December 3rd, 2022, noted 2 vehicles parked on the yard grass of the residence, so since the violation reoccurred within 45 days, it was set for the January MCV. This time I'd like to submit 4 photographs, notice posting at the door, and the violations.
Thank you.
Exhibit number 1 is notice posted at the door. Exhibit 2 and 3 are 2 vehicles parked on the yard grass, December 3rd, 2022. And exhibit number 4 is the vehicle parked on the yard grass, December 6th, 2022. This time the property is in compliance. I'd like to seek a finding.
Good, thank you. Any questions for the code officer?
Yes, are they related? No. Okay.
You're right. Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Sure, I'll do this one.
Thank you.
In case number 226172, I move the city has proven by greater weight of the evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace Code did exist on the property located at 5312 Rainbow Drive, applicable code sections 12-921. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code officer, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and a notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of this record for this hearing. I further move that there be no fine imposed because the violation were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. That completes our new cases. On to unfinished business.
Okay. Case number 222605, City versus New Plaza LLC for the property located at 8650 North 56th Street. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Silva for Section 12986 dated January 4th, 2023. Case number 223528, City versus Khalil Ahmad Abu for the property located at 11901 North 53rd Street. An affidavit of noncompliance was submitted by Officer Smith for Section 12860 dated November 10th, 2022. Case number 224955, City versus Ibrahim Mustafa for the property located at 10373 Council's Way. The expiration of compliance is tonight at midnight. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Allen dated December 23rd, 2022 for Section 810213K. This is partial compliance. Case number 225004, City versus Khalil Ahmad Abu for the property located at 11901 North 53rd Street. The expiration of compliance is tonight at midnight. Case number 225208, City versus Alida Suyapa Salguero Fiallos, Elvis Joel Chavez Hernandez, and Pamela Lisette Arias Salguero for the property located at 10909 Ridgedale Road. The expiration of compliance is tonight at midnight. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Smith for Section 12922A. Case number 22-5290, City versus Robert Joseph Barrett III and Arena Barrett for the property located at 508 Broxburn Avenue. The expiration of compliance is tonight at midnight. Case number 22-5353, City versus Jewish Enrichment Center, Inc. for the property located at 13105 North 52nd Street. The expiration of compliance was on December 30th, 2022. An affidavit of non-compliance was submitted by Officer Smith dated December 31st, 2022 for Section 128592.
Can I comment? Can I have a comment or?
Do you have a question, or?
A question.
ahead.
Is this the case where the vehicle was parked outside?
Yeah.
The RV?
The RV, he was
Still
gonna,
there?
He drove it up from New York.
he said he was gonna.
Oh, okay, it's still there.
Still there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just wanted to refresh my
Yeah,
memory.
that's the one that he said it just made it, and it's still sitting there.
Okay.
Has anything been done? Okay. So the fines have have accrued since December 31st. Okay.
Wow.
Case number 22-6101, City versus Ing ZY for the property located at 8429 Wakula Drive. The expiration of compliance is tonight at midnight. And then whenever everyone's ready, we have Lane's list review.
Let's do it.
Okay, we're getting into it. Okay. So we have 2 in compliance, so I'll read those first.
Okay.
And then the rest are out of compliance, and I will read those into the record after. So the 2 in compliance are case number 21-6307, City versus Alberto Barbon for 5415 Rainbow Drive.
Okay.
Case number 19-4940, City versus Robert and Lisa McNeil for 9406 Hidden Ridge Place.
Okay.
Those 2 properties are now in compliance. And the properties out of compliance still are case number 080292, City versus Christopher B. York, 7604 Leon Avenue. Case number 172746, City versus James Stevens Johnson and Glenda Johnson for 104 Holland Avenue. Case number 201531, City versus Vincent R. and Cynthia J. Adkins, 5513 Temple Heights Road. Case number 21604, City versus Anthony and Jillian Moore, 941 North River Hills Avenue. Case number 210786, City versus James and Joyce Evans, 11305 East Queensway Drive. Case number 211177, City versus Nicholas Drew Teeling and Rachel Teeling, 716 Druid Hills Road. Case number 213797, City versus John P. Ziegler, 306 South Burlingame Avenue. Case number 214324, City versus JR Premier Properties, LLC, for 608 Courtney Drive. Case number 216306, City versus Nihad Darwish, 6319 East 113th Avenue. Case number 216926, City versus Khalil Abu Ahmad, 11901 North 53rd Street. Case number 22203, City versus Ron Mogerman TT Holdings, LLC, for 12909 North 56th Street. Case number 221067, City versus Rachel and Nicholas Drew Teeling, 716 Druid Hills Road. Case number 221432, City versus Saknarin and Chenjit Juklam, 5112 East 122nd Avenue. Case number 221492, City versus JR Premier Properties, LLC, for 608 Courtney Drive. Case number 221767, City versus 12260 Group Inc., for the property located at 12260 Morris Bridge Road. Case number 221989, City versus Estate of Antonio and Dukes, 512 Carolyn Street. Case number 225294, City versus Ron Mogerman TT Holdings at 12909 North 56th Street.
Very good. Thank you. Take a breath.
Good job, yes.
Does anybody have any new business? Go ahead, Bill.
I just had one thing. Unfortunately, he left early tonight, but before the meeting, Alan Gear announced that this would be his last meeting, I believe, and he was going to not reapply for a 3-year extension. So I just wanted to, formally acknowledge his
Yes.
service and thank him for.
We thank all our volunteers and also this is an opportunity for those that are listening online or TV or whatever. We will have an opening. Any other new business? Okay, I have one item, gentlemen. As you know, we cannot foreclose on a lien that is a homesteaded property. However, we do have one case, case number, and you guys may remember this, case number 210256, K&W Property Group LLC at 8903 North 78th Street. That's the property where they clear-cut 23 plus or minus trees. We have a lien amount. It's not growing, but we do have a lien amount of $130,000 on that piece of property. That property is not homesteaded. I would like you guys to consider recommending to our legal staff to start the foreclosure proceedings on that property. You look perplexed, Bill.
There's no structure on the property yet, right?
No, but there's still a lien on it.
You can still
Yeah,
foreclose.
you lien the property, not the structure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just asking a
Yeah,
question.
yeah, you lien the property, not the structure. We do have a lien, I'm just asking you to direct legal to foreclose, because they can't move forward until we give them direction.
Have you spoken to the legal department? Is that their wish for us to?
Yes, it is their wish.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Can I ask this question? It doesn't, it's not a new business or something. It's just for me to clarify in the future. I know that's talked about the.
Is it pertaining to this particular property?
No.
Well, then why don't you wait till we finish this, and then you can ask.
Okay, that's why
Okay,
Since I'm assuming this was done before my time,
it was.
what is the,
Okay, so this case came in front of us. They illegally cut down they clear cut, it's an empty lot, okay?
Okay.
They clear cut 23 plus or minus trees, maybe more, without a permit. Okay, they were found in violation.
okay,
The arborist that represented them was less than honest. He actually gave us a letter that had a street address on it for that property before that property had a street address. There was no way he could have known what the address of the street was when he wrote his letter, even though he put a street address on it. So he gave us a street letter, and I don't remember the dates, that was dated October 1st.
Sure.
Okay, but the street, the address that property didn't get an address until October 30th.
okay, got it.
Okay, so anyway, so all those things happened. We found them in violation. They haven't paid the fine. We have a lien that it's not growing. We have a lien amount of $130,000 on the property. That lien does us no good until we try to foreclose on it. So that's what I'm recommending that we direct. And the legal department can't start the foreclosure process until this board makes a motion to direct them to start the foreclosure process.
Okay, so just for my own purpose, if they cut down these trees, what would the remedy have been had they chosen to do that?
Well, there was.
I'm not sure if this is gonna answer your question, but I'm gonna start with this, and then we'll see if you have a
Okay.
follow-up.
Get there, yeah.
When this case was brought to the Code Enforcement Board, the board found them to be irreversible violations, meaning, the.
Right, you can't correct it,
them.
sure.
So they issued, and there was, I think, 26 trees
Was it 26?
that were cut, and he did 5, and found each one to be a separate violation, each tree to be a separate violation, so there was 5,000 per tree that was imposed by this board.
Got it.
The way they should have done it, because they were developing the lot, is they should have gone through the development process, had the assessments done, tree survey done, all that. If that might be what's answering your question as far as.
No, that's absolutely, thank you. Yeah,
Sure.
Go ahead.
Has there been any communication with them to remedy this?
Yes, there has been some talks with them about about trying to resolve this, yes.
And the outcome of that,
Well-
how they said? I mean,
There has
were about
been-
to foreclose on
They
their
they have
property.
not expressed an interest in trying to settle it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready to make a motion if you're,
Okay,
if
I'm
we're
ready,
done with the
I'm ready,
question.
I'm ready to hear a motion. You have
Well,
another-
I
you
just
another
have,
question?
yeah, what does foreclosing on that property involve? What is the process? Is there negotiation, or what does that involve, actually?
There'll be a demand letter sent out, giving them a certain amount of time to try and resolve this, and if they don't, then we would file
With the,
a foreclosure action.
with the court, right?
With what?
With the court, right?
Yes, yes.
I see. And the demand letter will be for $130,000, right?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
Do we know what the property's worth? Is it worth more than $130,000?
Well, they were gonna build a bunch of houses on it.
Doesn't
I know
matter.
they were gonna develop a few homes
Yeah,
on
they
it,
were
so
gonna
I'm
have-
I don't really know
Oh,
what.
I didn't know how big it was, if it was
Yeah,
just
it's
like.
large.
It's a large.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a large piece of property. They were gonna put, I think, 4 houses
Oh,
on
then
it.
it's probably well north of 130.
The fine is still accumulating, right?
No,
No.
Stopped.
He found it as an irreversible violation, so it's
Yes,
a one-time
yeah.
fine.
Okay.
Normally, fines will accrue until they're corrected.
Okay.
What I said.
But in this case, it was
the lien
irreparable,
amount- the lien
irreversible.
amount's
There's
not
no way
growing.
to comply.
Okay, so it stays,
Yeah, so it
yes,
stays at 130,000.
yes.
Can they ask for a lien reduction?
No,
No, because it was irreversible.
because it's, we only reduce once they bring it into compliance. We're compliance driven. It's in the same state as it was. There's gonna be,
So, okay, got you. Thank you.
Okay, so we have a, did you make a motion?
I did not make one yet.
Okay, let's
Okay.
hear the motion.
So in case number 21-0256, for the property located at 8903 North 78th Street, I move my motion is that the city move forward with foreclosure proceedings.
Is that good enough? Okay, we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. Move forward. Any other new business? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
You remember I asked for a
So we
question?
do have additional new business.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You're asking for adjournment.
Well, because I asked if we had any new business and nobody said anything. If you
Oh.
have something else, then we will
Okay.
postpone the motion to adjourn.
Okay, I'm sorry. It just also, in the unfinished business, is there an opportunity for the owner to come out and ask, like when he has that, like tonight, we have some deadlines where for tonight. They have the opportunity to come and say, give me an extension. Is that possible? I'm just curious, so in the future.
yes, for those, I believe, for those that have a deadline tonight, they could have come here today
Tonight.
to ask for.
Okay.
He has unfinished business.
Yes, he understood me correctly.
Yeah,
It's
the ones that had a deadline of midnight tonight.
midnight tonight, they
Yeah,
could have come.
They could have came tonight and asked for an extension.
Yes.
For those that are accruing a fine, their only opportunity is to bring the property into compliance, wait that, was it 55 days or whatever it is? Don't they have to wait a certain amount of time before they can ask for a lien reduction?
Yeah,
As long as it's in compliance.
I thought they had to wait.
I'm asking this
I
question.
believe that was done away with when we made the
Okay,
changes to the
so
code.
once they bring the property in compliance, they can ask for a lien reduction, which is handled through the legal department.
Because, I'm bringing this question because I remember clearly hearing David as our chairman telling that, gentleman from the, that has the RV, if you need more time,
Yeah.
you could have come up and,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
He should have been here tonight, yeah.
Yep.
But, okay.
He didn't take that opportunity.
And just, and other cases too, so they could have, come up and ask for
Just so
that.
you know, he can't come next month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's it.
sorry,
Yeah, that's why, I know that for a
Well,
fact.
ship
I
sailed.
will say on that RV one, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't that a December 30th deadline date?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was.
So he
So he's
probably
already
didn't know.
accruing a fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
The
already,
window- The
so,
window of opportunity.
so he has no, okay. And
And
other
if you
cases,
recall his testimony, that he thought he'd have it done in 2 weeks.
Yeah, he told us, that's why we gave the December 30th,
Yeah.
he said he would have it done.
Yeah, so, Any other new business or any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn?
Second.
Second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. We are adjourned. Gentlemen, thank you once again.